Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, August 13, 2021. Children and adolescents 12 years and older will be prioritized for the Pfizer vaccine when government receives its first batch of 200,000 doses next week. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says there must, however, be parental consent.
The prioritization of children is for us critical at this juncture. And in this context, there is going to be some prioritization and adjustment towards a younger population using that particular brand. And that's because the research has been done, the clinical assessment has been done, and as you know, we go by what the science suggests or proves.
In total, Jamaica is expecting 608,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. The country is also purchasing 1.9 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson brand, which requires only one shot. A shipment of 118,000 doses will arrive next week as well, with 3 other shipments expected over the next few weeks. Minister Tufton says that while this single-dose vaccine will be available across the country, street people and certain other vulnerable individuals will be prioritized. In the meantime, regional health authorities will activate 23 vaccination blitz sites across 11 parishes this weekend. Members of the public are invited to make appointments for vaccination, but walk-ins will also be welcomed.
And we urge persons to go out and get vaccinated. If you can't get an appointment online or through the phone lines, go to the site. Now, we prefer the appointment, but don't let a lack of appointment stop you. We want everyone to come out, and our team on the ground is making the sacrifice and are able, willing, and will be there to serve you all.
When going to the vaccination site, persons will need to take their TRN and a government-issued ID or letter from a justice of the peace. Those going for their second dose should also bring their vaccination card. The Ministry of Health is on a drive to administer 700,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines by the end of September and have 65% of the population covered by March 31, 2022. So far, just over 391,000 Jamaicans have either been partially or fully inoculated. In the last 24 hours, Jamaica has confirmed 544 new cases of COVID-19 infections and 8 deaths, while hospitals island-wide remain over capacity, reinforcing the need for redoubled efforts at infection prevention and control, as well as increased vaccinations. A 15% fare increase for public passenger buses and taxis takes effect next Monday, August 16. This, however, does not apply to the JUTC or the Montego Bay Metro. And the rate for the elderly, disabled, and children will remain at 50% of the adult fare. The Transport Authority announced the fare adjustment in a press release yesterday. According to the release, the decision follows several appeals for an increase, as well as Cabinet's review of the requests and the economic impact the pandemic has had on the rate of inflation. The Transport Authority says, based on consultations with the Ministry of Finance, this increase will affect national inflation by approximately 1%. The authority says it will be monitoring the public passenger space to ensure operators do not apply any additional charges. The upgrading of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF's automated palm and fingerprint identification system is slated to come on stream in September. Automated palm and fingerprint identification systems are primarily used by law enforcement agencies in criminal investigations. The JCF first put the forensic tool into operation in October 2006. Senior Director of the Ministry of National Security's Major Technology Transformation Branch, Arvel Grant, says the upgrade will facilitate a more efficient process of generating criminal records. The Criminal Records Office will also use the system to process requests for police records for job prospects or travel purposes. 786 job seekers received employment last year through government's Electronic Labor Exchange, ELE. The details are outlined in the Planning Institute of Jamaica's PIOJ's 2020 Economic and Social Survey. The Electronic Labor Exchange is the core of the Labor Market Information System, LMIS, which provides online and offline services to job seekers and employers at no cost to them. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security says increased promotion of the LMIS web and mobile app, as well as a shift from in-person to virtual platforms for the delivery of services, also resulted in the registration of 897 job seekers. The LMIS team targeted job seekers who were more likely to have experienced job loss due to the pandemic. The team also engaged in several partnerships with stakeholders to promote the LMIS and improve accessibility. And finally, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is reminding interested persons that the deadline for government's low-cost housing design competition is August 31, 2021. The competition encourages Jamaicans to submit creative, original, resilient, and low-cost housing designs. It is open to all nationals, regardless of their country of residence, and is targeting engineers, architects, builders, and students from the built environment. Application submissions may be done individually or in teams of a maximum of 5 persons via the ministry's website, megjc.gov.jm. Design submissions will be accepted by the ministry in 4 categories: 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, as well as multifamily units. The winning design in each category will serve as a model for the nation's social housing program, with a $1 million prize for first place, $500,000 for second place, and $250,000 for third place. The competition is one of the many ways government is responding to the high demand for housing while optimizing limited financial resources to get the best value at the least cost. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.